paycheck. It wasn't easy, but nothing is.
Hey man, you know what? Well, the first thing I want to say about that trailer that I noticed off the rip is the different camera angles and stuff we got. Like, I don't know if hopefully I'll be able to make some content too with that, with those type of camera angles. That looked pretty fire. Also pro play, man. A lot of signature moves I've seen in there. Kevin Durant looking just like himself movement wise. Same with Jalen Brunson, that little turnaround shot that he does. Amazing.
I know,
man.
my Twitch not working right now.
A lot of stuff in that
it's tweaking.
Trailer that I really like.
For sure. Shout out to our creative teams and our marketing teams who put together that very, very awesome trailer. I am very biased, but that shot of LeBron, like behind the rim at the end, that was just perfect. I see somebody in the chat says LeBron is not doing that at 41 years old. I'm pretty sure LeBron just did that a couple months ago, so that shot is very accurate. But that was just to start what we have today. Next up, we are going to pass it to our gameplay director, Mike Wang, and a special guest who recorded a Courtside Report video together for you, and they're going to go through some of the gameplay features in 2K26. Check this one out.
What's up, y'all? Tyrese Halliburton here with NBA 2K gameplay director Mike Wang to break down this year's new gameplay features in 2K26. Today, we'll discuss the new Pro Play motion engine, enhanced rhythm shooting, and other advanced controls. Now let's get to it.
This year, Pro Play technology is evolving, bringing more authenticity than ever before through advancements in rhythm shooting, new customization options on offense, an all-new dynamic motion engine, and much more.
I know my Purple Lab not working right now.
In 2K26, Pro Play powers the all-new dynamic motion engine, using machine learning technology to make your actions feel more lifelike and realistic. Dynamic lower body pose matching adjusts the exact positioning of players' legs and feet on the fly to remove the skating seen in past games and ensure that players launch, plant, and cut realistically. This is the biggest change to player movement since NBA 2K21, offering a fresh and authentic feeling every time you step on the court.
And that's the same year I made it to the league. It's wild to see how gameplay's evolved the last couple of years.
Players who take advantage of the rhythm shooting mechanic will notice more responsive and authentic jump shots that simulate a true shooting motion. We really wanted to emphasize creating a skill-based environment in 2K26 that blends authenticity with competition for a more rewarding experience. This renewed focus will be felt across multiple gameplay features, from shot outcomes to successful blocks and steals and loose balls and rebounds.
As a shooter, that sounds awesome. But what about potential changes to moves in the post?
Why they keep talking about post work? Like anybody.
26 will now be able to leverage all new signature go-to post shots by holding up on the shot stick while in the post. Players can lean into a host of new moves, including shimmy floaters, baby hooks, and up and unders. Playing with your back to the basket is a lost art, but those who are able to master it can take advantage in the paint.
They just said post score is going to be OD this year.
In previous versions of NBA 2K, layups were limited by a single signature layup package. But this year, players can draw inspiration from around the league to mix and match standard layups, floaters, quick scoops, Euro steps, hop steps, and spins, and determine exactly how they want to finish around the rim. 2K26 uses system-driven technology to generate player-to-player collisions that are more reliable compared to previously scripted motion-captured animations. Coupled with new dynamic motion, this change improves the freedom of authentic movement for both the dribbler and on-ball defender. Interior defense has also been redesigned so that it's easier to put a body on shooters when they're finishing around the rim and make body-to-body contact in the air. And bigs will feel increased physicality when roaming in the paint. Last but not least, we've added some new offensive controls to give players a more intuitive, deliberate, and free-flowing experience. Ball handlers can now shield themselves from steals by reacting with the Quick Protect mechanic. The introduction of Quick Protect will bring more balance and lead to more skill-based outcomes. You can even use it to put defenders in jail, just like Luka and other strong guards love to do. For spot-up shooters, you can use the new Quick Shot feature by holding the left trigger on catch-and-shoot shots. This will skip the dip and allow you to get your shots off super quick like Klay Thompson. Slashers now have access to slow-motion Euro-step gathers, something we've been seeing a lot of in the league lately from players like yourself and Ant. This will help you navigate through the paint and around defenders by decelerating to throw defenders off and create space with a slow-mo finish. And finally, another highly requested feature is the ability to force rat passes, which will allow you to feed the corner three or thread the needle to a cutting teammate and avoid defenders playing the passing lanes.
As a big-time 2K fan, I can't wait to get my hands on 2K26 and experience these all-new features for myself.
You get
Gameplay
paid to
in
say
NBA
that,
2K26
Tyrese.
has taken a giant leap forward with more personalization and variety, faster pace, and more skill-based gameplay.
Whether you're a new player or a veteran like me, everyone can master the fundamentals in these all-new moves.
Lies.
Pre-order NBA 2K26 Superstar or Leave No Doubt Edition today and hit the court sooner with early access, starting on August
My
29th.
thing keep going it keep doing that. It keep not being full screen. It keep doing that. Why I keep doing that?
Man, oh man, we got a lot of stuff to talk about.
I was about to
shout out
say,
to Mike
I'll
Wang
break
for
it down
coming
for
through
y'all,
and blessing
Scream.
us
Just
with some
don't
more
worry.
information,
Don't
But
worry.
yeah,
I'm trying to
we
figure
got a
out how I
deep
can get
bag
my
to get into
Purple Act
today,
live
Evan.
right now.
So let's go ahead and start kicking it off with some of the stuff here, man.
Yeah, there is a lot there. And just like last time, we just gave Stacks a list of everything in the full Courtside Report blog that we can talk about today. So we're going to go put them in your shoes and go through not only each feature that Mike and Tyrese mentioned in more detail, but also we're going to talk about a couple of improvements that actually weren't even mentioned in the video. So stick around for that. I'm ready if you are,
Yes, sir,
Stacks.
yes. Yeah. Let's get into it, man. I'm excited. I'm hyped up. I know the chat is ready to get into it as
Let's
well.
go.
So first up, we got Pro Play Motion Engine. Mike said that this is the biggest change to the motion engine
He
since
said
NBA
that last year.
2K21. I'm pretty sure we got a few questions about that in the chat. So Evan, what exactly does that mean?
Well, sure.
Why
In
they keep
case you
going
haven't
back
heard
to
about
Evan,
Pro
bro?
Play
I want to
in
hear
the
from
past,
Stacks.
It's been a big step towards more lifelike basketball in 2K. And it's this really cool tech that lets us use footage from real NBA games to capture animations from them. So we don't need to have players come to our studio and wear those mocap suits with the white dots and do the animations there. We can get them from the NBA footage. So at its core, Pro Play is about getting a huge library of animations from the NBA. And I think oftentimes the community attributes more to Pro Play than what it really is. So I just wanted to clarify that first. But anyways, the last 2 years, you've seen Pro Play for things like shot animations and dribbling. And now, this year, as you heard Mike say, that NBA footage is powering all of the on-court movement in 26. So it is not just the dribbling, but it is expanding to offensive movement, the way players move on defense, and even off-ball movement as well. And you might be thinking, well, what's the actual benefit, right? Well, when you play, you are going to see how players move in a more lifelike way. So you heard Mike talk about how in past years, you may see players kind of skate around or slide around, right? I think that's been a lot of feedback that we've gotten in the past before. And with this new motion engine, you are going to see that skating and sliding a lot less. So hopefully you guys will
A
feel this
lot
change
less,
when you get
but
your
that
hands on
doesn't mean it
2K26
won't
very
stop
soon.
happening entirely, by the way.
All right, man. Sound like some good news to us, man, especially skating and sliding all over the court. I know nobody wants that. Next up, we have enhanced rhythm shooting. All right, I was a rhythm shooting demon this past year.
Lies.
Now rhythm shooting is enhanced. I would love to know more about that too.
Yeah, I keep being asked if rhythm shooting is back, and it is. It's also got some really cool upgrades that I'm personally excited about because,
Lies.
like a lot of people this past year, I was kind of resistant to it at first, just being honest. But over time, I wanted to learn something new. And now at the end of year, just like you, Stacks, I use rhythm shooting for almost everything. All of my catch and shoots, all of my step backs. And I've heard from not just you, but many people who've done the same thing. So for those of you who like shooting with the button, you can still shoot the button. That is not removed, but rhythm shooting is a more advanced option. And if you take the time to learn it, You're not going to regret it because this year the big upgrade is that
The
rhythm
meter
shooting is
looks
no
a little
longer
bit
just about
satisfying.
matching
I'm not
the
gonna
player's
lie.
animation,
Shooting with meter
but
on looks
rather
a
giving
little
you the
bit
full control
satisfying.
over the
But
animation.
it's still
So,
like 2K25.
when you
based,
do
not
picture your controller,
2K24
when
based.
you do the down up flick on your right stick, the way you flick the stick will actually change the way your player is shooting. So to try to explain this in like the simplest way we can, rhythm shooting has two parts, right? The timing of when you flick the stick, and then the tempo of how you did it. Timing and tempo. For timing, if you flick up really early, you can now release the ball earlier. And if you flick up late, you can kind of hold on to the ball for a moment before you let go.
So there's
And
speed
then
ups and
tempo,
slow downs
if
back
you
in the
flick
game,
up kind of
which
fast,
people
you're gonna
ask
rush your
for, by
shot.
the way.
But if you flick with a slower tempo, you're gonna do like a lazier looking release. So the cool thing about this is there isn't necessarily a right or wrong timing anymore. It's giving you more freedom because let's say,
It's
for
not my
example,
fault,
you
fool.
rushed your timing to get the shot, right? The defender's closing out, you want to
Yeah,
rush your
that's
shot.
the purple app.
If you rush the timing, but you still green the tempo, you can still make the shot. So to me,
He's
it's
trying to
really just
explain
about
it
how
and
you
break
shoot
it
in real
down like
life.
it's gonna
The dev
make
team is
any-
giving us
it
more
make it any
control as a
better.
shooter than you would have simply by pressing the button. So I got to mess around a little bit with this earlier last week, and I'm still getting the hang of it. But
Earlier
I can't wait to
last
try it out
week?
some more and stacks. I think you're gonna like it too.
What was last week, Chet?
Yeah,
What was
yeah,
last
man.
week?
I think that's one
Somebody-
of those things that
what
I'm
was
gonna have
last
to get
week?
my hands on to actually see exactly how it works.
How
So,
there's
yeah,
somebody who
I'm
doesn't play
excited to
2K
see
and
what
somebody
that's
who
about.
does play
Definitely
2K.
gonna go back to rhythm shooting, but I got to see what it's looking like. Next up, we got skill-based
Dude said he
gameplay.
realized I didn't use it.
Uh,
My stream get the lagging. My stream. Whoa. 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 Figure it out. Figure it out, buddy. But I realize my internet is tweaking right now, folks.
I know that's been a big topic lately. We don't have to spend too much time on this. All right, yes, skill-based gameplay. Let's get to it.
Yeah, we did talk about this on the roadmap stream a while back. So like we'll just do a
Yeah.
quick recap.
Yo,
Remember,
fucking
I see the
tweaking
chat
right
asking
now,
about
folks.
this. This year, a point of emphasis in 26 for our dev team is skill-based competitive gameplay that makes you feel more in control. So when people are asking about like the outcome of shots, rebounds, loose balls, steals, and all those things like that, we are intending to make that more skill-based competitive. So as you hear us talk about all the new features today, just keep that in mind. And then the other thing we did talk about last time were a few gameplay settings were adjusted. So higher difficulties and most multiplayer modes are going to have green or miss shot timing. And then layup timing is permanently enabled so that people aren't making real player percentage layups on your head anymore. But that should catch you up if you missed our last stream.
Ooh, fucking we. Something we've been
Yeah,
asked
man.
for. Keep
I
going,
think the
bitch.
layup timing thing is probably my favorite thing from last stream. Just because, like, maybe mid-year I started adapting layup timing, and I think personally for me it's been better in terms of like how I play and getting those layups off. So I'm excited to see more people be forced to use that as well, and kind of create a little bit more of a bigger skill gap, you know, when playing the game online. Anyway,
Exactly.
Let's go to the next thing. We have signature go-to post shot. So we already had that signature shots like pretty much on the perimeter, but now it look like we have showing some love to the big men out here, man. So let's hear about those signature go-to post shots.
Yeah, so many of you probably remember the regular go-to shots we've added. And personally, it's really fun anytime I see a video of like somebody doing side-by-side of 2K gameplay and IRL footage together. So like I've seen it for Steph a lot, KD, Kyrie, people like that. So the dev team has worked on giving big men more moves this year as well. And they've added what we're calling go-to post shots. So when you're in the post, if you hold the right stick up, you're going to see new post moves and moves that a bunch of big men in the NBA are doing today. So I'm hoping to see some more go-to shot clips for big men now this year as well, like some of the ones you even saw in the gameplay trailer.
Okay, man. Yeah, I kind of messed around with the go-to shots. It took me a while to kind of figure out which one I liked the best, but I found one that was pretty effective for me. Anyway, moving on.
Keep
got
talking about
custom
anyway.
layups,
Moving
right?
on, no, nigga.
Now, I heard
Elaborate.
Mike
Fucking
say
you
mix
slide
and
me.
match.
But was good, bro.
Because when I say mix and match, I'm thinking mixing one player's layup package with another play. Like, is that what are we talking
Do
about?
we have
here? What are we
layup
talking
creator? They bring back
You are
layup.
correct,
They bring in
because a
layup
popular piece
creator.
of feedback from the community, and something I've heard often has been somebody might like a certain animation from a player's layup package, but they don't want all of that.
Shout out
layup
to my man
animation,
Cheese
right?
2K.
And this is an addition that tries to address that feedback. So in the past, you pick one layup package, and that player's package determines all of your layup. This year, you can set different players' animations for different types of layups.
Oh, that's
We have
beautiful.
normal layups, reverse
Beautiful.
layups, floaters, quick scoops, Euro steps, hop steps, and spins, as you can see here in the My Player customization
Like
menu. And then these new like specific categories, that is available both when you're customizing your My Player, and also if you play My NBA, it's also going to be available when you're editing your rosters, and editing the players in them. You can assign to them these different types of layups as well. It's a really cool feature to me.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that. I could already imagine.
You're saying
I know some
layup
of the
is actually going to be worth it?
competitively, you know, probably didn't want to use a lot of other people's layup package because a lot of those layups might get blocked in competitive gameplay. So now I could see them mixing maybe some Kyrie with some Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? Getting real like innovative inside of that. So that's kind of fire, man. I like that as well. Being able to mix layup packages.
They can't. There's no way they can make. There's no way they can make layups balanced.
I'm definitely locked into that.
So if
Next,
you can mix,
we got defense.
Kyrie Irving layup.
Mike said that collisions
Steph,
and interior defense.
and you can get
better
Devin
this
Booker
year.
or Kobe.
That's great to hear, man.
And then
That's
since
definitely
it's
great
going
to
to be a
hear.
more
What
free
exactly
game,
does that
could you
mean,
get
though,
Giannis
Evan?
layup? Giannis
Well,
gathers.
in the past, the way players' bodies collided with each
Come on
other
now.
was scripted, right? That was
You gotta
through
think,
mocap.
Jack. You
I
gotta
think many
think.
of you knew that, or at least assumed that based on how those animations look.
By the way,
Well,
my
this year
screen
in
keep
2K26,
going
there
off
is
of
new
full
tech
screen.
that actually generates those collisions.
This
You're going to
thing.
notice as a
I
dribbler
can't
or even like
control
an
it.
on-ball defender, you are going to notice more freedom of movement rather than kind of being stuck in a scripted, mo-tapped animation. So that's one benefit there. And the other one for interior defense, that has been redesigned so that bigs can get body bumps more reliably when they're contesting layups and dunks. And you're really going to feel more physicality in the paint if you are guarding around the rim. So there was defensive improvements as well. We never want to make it one-sided. We do want to.
Bro, somebody spamming bills $20.
Yeah, for sure, man. I think
Somebody
anytime
spamming
we can get
bills
some
$20
defensive
on
improvement,
this
show some
show.
love to the defensive side of the
Hey,
ball,
fool.
it's always a great time. Next, too, not only defense,
I know they
we
see
also
that
got
jump.
new rebounding timing feedback. Now, this is interesting. I'm not sure if this is something we've ever seen in 2K before.
Rebounding timing
Let's
feedback.
see what we got here.
Yeah, so this is actually a small but really helpful addition. when I saw it for the
Rebounding
first time.
timing feedback.
Maybe I was just out of the loop because I didn't really play on big builds until the last year, but I never knew when to press triangle to jump for a rebound. I kind of just like pressed triangle randomly. So if you're like me and you didn't know, the ideal time to jump for a rebound is right before the ball makes its final bounce off the rim. So if a ball bounces twice before coming down, it is that final bounce that matters. And this year, when you do have an excellent timed rebound, you are going to see a green flash below your player's feet, just like you see in this clip of the Thunder. And if you do nail the timing and get a green rebound, it is going to significantly boost your chances of securing the ball. So it is important to get the rebound timing right, to have the best chance of grabbing the board over somebody who might not know their timing as well as you do. And this green flash is really there to kind of help educate you and help you learn and adjust to when you have to jump. And last thing there, just a note, not all bigs are created equal. So if a player has higher defensive or offensive rebounding attributes, they are going to find it easier to nail that timing and get that green flash on offensive or defensive types of rebounds, whichever one their attribute is higher for. So definitely don't skip out on your rebounding attributes.
Okay, I think that's amazing too. I think that adds another level of what people like to call a skill back.
We'll talk
skill
about
gap
it
now,
afterwards.
even
It makes
in
sense.
Rebounding,
We'll
I
talk
think that's
about it.
probably going to go into how a
We'll
lot
talk
of
about
people
it.
like the
Relax.
bigs this year. They might think a little bit more about
They
adding
putting
more
training
rebounding
wheels on
now,
this shit.
just to get that better timing on there, get that clutch rebound. Anyway, let's move forward. Next, we got new controls. Mike talked about some of these like rat passes, and there's a lot here. So let's get into some of them.
Tap in, chat. Let's tap in.
Yeah, so I mean, well, one thing, before we go through like each of the new controls, there is an important note here that I think many of you will be very happy to hear, that the overall game speed in 2K26 has been sped up compared
How
to 2K25.
much?
So hopefully that is good news for many of you. But as you hear about these new controls, keep that in mind, because if the game speed is faster, that means players who have faster decision making, who can anticipate what's going to happen next, are going to be rewarded more. So Mike and Tyrese in that video, they covered some of these new controls already, so we'll just do a quick recap of them. But Stacks, what do you got first?
First, we have Quick Protect. By the way, I do want to say, man, the game speed being faster is a huge W as well. I know that's been something that I've
We'll
been
talk
talking
about it, Chad.
a
We'll
while,
talk
too.
about it. Relax.
It's having the game speed a little bit faster, so I really love that. But first up, we got Quick Protect.
Yeah, you heard Mike talk about this one. This is a new control so that when you're dribbling, if you tap the left trigger, you can now kind of shield the ball or evade somebody reaching in on you to get a steal. So if you do react quickly enough to a defender that's reaching in, you can counter it, and then the goal here is to give ball handlers a balance to the steal system and ultimately lead to more skill-based outcome. But there's actually one more use to it though, because it has a dual purpose. So as you are driving to the basket, if you feel a defender kind of on your back, you can actually do a quick protect, tap the left trigger, and then you'll trap them on your hip to get open. And I think you saw in the video that this is something Luka does nearly every game I watch him in. So that's the example we used. But Luka is somebody who uses the quick protects a lot. But yeah, there are double uses to these new quick protect controls.
Yeah, I like that. I like the sound of that, man. And I like that a lot of these gameplay changes and these new things that's going into it are like to enhance the skill gap. You know what I'm saying? So I really do like that. Quick protect, I feel like that can be very, very, very useful. That just for the things that you said right there too. So I like that. Next up, we're going to talk about the no dip catch and shoots. I'm very interested about that. I think we saw a little bit of an example of it in the gameplay with Klay Thompson. So let's hear about that.
Yeah, this one is, I think, I shouldn't say it, now, but I think this is my favorite feature.
Did he just
today,
hold
because
himself
it's the one
back?
that I'm going to probably have the chance to use the most, because when I'm out there playing, as some of you know, I am always sitting in the corner, right? I don't dribble. I just kind of sit there and knock down threes for my team. So this is a really cool addition because the dev team has added a feature in 2K26 for people like me and anybody else who kind of is a corner sitter or just sits there waiting for the ball to shoot. When you're standing still and you get past the ball, if you hold down the left trigger, you are going to square up and catch the ball and then go straight into your shot without dipping your hands down. And it's funny that, when I first learned about this feature, I remember this like old Klay Thompson video that I watched before where he kind of explains exactly this. And he talked about how he mastered being able to catch and shoot in rhythm without dipping. And it's part of why he's such a good shooter. So this new feature is going to help you do exactly that in 2K, like Klay Thompson and anybody else who does that in the real life NBA.
Yeah, we like that too, man. Okay, so far, all of these gameplay improvements are pretty fire. That one is pretty cool too, I'm not gonna lie. Next up, we have revamped signature size up. Let's get it.
This one is like a control change, kind of. So they're a little different this year. There are two inputs now. So you can either, imagine your controller, you can either rock the right stick back and forth, left and right, or you can repeatedly flick the right stick like up, and you're going to get two different size up combinations. This is really just to give you more variety in what types of size ups that you can do. Because when you go left, right versus up, it's going to be a different size up. More controls for those advanced users out there and advanced dribblers who want to take advantage of those size ups.
Okay, I like that, but I see one of my favorite moves in the game. This is a move I utilize a lot, man. We got slow motion Euro steps now. I kind of want to hear a little bit about that, man. I love you using the Euro step. What do we got about that?
Yeah, this one does look very cool because there are very few players who can just put their head down and barrel their way to the rim every play. Like most players, they need a little finesse there. So the dev team has added these slow motion Euro steps, and this is another left trigger control. So picture your controller again. As you're doing a Euro step, if you hold down the left trigger, you can slow down mid-move, kind of do like a slow motion drag step. And if your defender kind of isn't expecting it and jumps based on what your normal layup speed or Euro step speed would be, they're going to fly right by you. So it is a new way for people to mix things up with their layups. And I got to say, like overall, layups in general feel really good this year. From what I've seen, from what I've heard from people who played the game, that layups in general feel really good. So if you're somebody who likes driving in for layups, hopefully you're going to have a great year in 2K26.
I ain't gonna lie, I like that. That's probably my favorite feature so far. Like I said, I like to utilize the Euro step and being able to like kind of throw the defender off, like you said, make him jump when he think you're going up, and then go up with the layup. I really like that, Evan. Not gonna lie, that's probably my favorite feature right there. But next up, we also have wrap passes.
Yeah, I saw the chat like this when we were talking about it earlier, showing it in the video. So this one is like a new control. So in the past, like double tapping circle, if you're on PlayStation, double tapping circle, that was a flashy pass, right? I used to spam that by accident sometimes. But now double tapping circle is going to do a wrap pass. Because I've seen people submit 2K25 videos in our feedback channels that are like, why did my pass go straight into the back of a defender? And they wish they had more control over what type of pass they did. So now, the good passes out there.
So you add a pass instead of adding multiple different varieties?
And this one is pretty simple. So double tapping circle on PlayStation or double tapping E on an Xbox controller. That's going to do a wrap pass now in 2K26.
E on the Xbox controller?
Perfect. Love that. Having a little bit more control over your passes. And speaking of passes, next up we got alley-oops.
Yeah, this one was not in the video. This one is a small change to alley-oops to make sure they require a little more thinking. So on lower difficulties, alley-oops are still going to be similar to previous year. You can get away with just pressing square, and you don't really have to think too much, right? But on higher difficulties, the button the dunker has to press is going to be randomized. So on PlayStation, for example, it is not always going to be square. It could be any of those 4 buttons on the right side of your controller, so that just makes sure there's more thought behind an alley-oop, because it could be circle, it could be triangle, or X, or square, and you're going to have to pay attention on those higher difficulties to finish your alley-oops as a dunker.
I think, and this is just for me, I'm not speaking for anybody, I think anything we can do to increase the skill gap, I know I keep going back to that, but anything we can do to increase the skill gap, I think is cool. Now, going online, you know, you won't get spammed with alley-oops and all of those crazy things. Now it's going to be a little bit more difficult. I think all of this stuff, though, once you play the game for a while and get the hang of it, you know what I'm saying? You'll get used to it and you'll start to get a little bit better at it. Next up, we have
some people in the chat. I think some people in the chat, they're underestimating their reaction time. Some of you don't like this, but when you actually do it, I'm pretty sure you're going to be reacting quick enough to whether it's X, square, triangle, whatever it is. I think you're underestimating your reaction time.
It's like
in the chat who kind of heard that.
They kind of already have it in WWE a little bit.
What that means for you as a dunker, I think you're underestimating yourself.
Spamming buttons, yeah, it's not.
I mean, you know, if they're not good enough to get the button pressed in time, man, I don't know what to tell them, man. That's tough. Anyway, moving on. We also have setting screens. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so this one is for the big men out there. So this year, when you are setting a screen, you can kind of make fine adjustments to which way you want to face. So as you're setting a screen, you can nudge the left stick, left or right, to kind of rotate your player 45 degrees a little bit in whichever direction you nudge the stick, right, left or right. Or you can flick the left stick in the opposite direction of what you're facing, and your players kind of do like a 180 degree turn, like a spin. And that means that if you're a smart big who starts learning these and can really pin defenders, you're going to get your ball handlers open better. So this is an advanced control for being added for like big men who want to be at the next level and be a better screener.
Quality of life is what they're mainly talking about.
Okay. All right. Well, that is it for the new controls. A lot of new things to learn. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the faster game speed. I know like a lot of people don't like change, man, but you got to lock in for a little while, get in the lab. You know, and once you get used to it, I'm pretty sure everything.
It's not going to be hard.
Okay, anyway,
nothing that they're talking about is hard.
Is there anything so about AI and coaching that we need
you're going to like be totally butt at the
I mean,
game.
there's a lot about AI and coaching, to be honest, in the blog that everyone should definitely go read.
Not read
but
that
you know, especially if you play my team or my NBA and you consistently have a lot of AI teammates, it's definitely something you kind of want to learn about. But we can summarize a few real quick here. We have time. What do you got?
Up. Punk.
Okay, let's start out with first up we have drive and kick intelligence.
Yeah, okay. So this one, I've heard this feedback a lot, that the AI like wouldn't pass when they should, or you as the user might feel like the AI should have made a pass that they didn't. But this year, the AI does have improved drive and kick intelligence, and what that means is they are going to be more actively looking to see when the defense rotates and then pass out if there's an open shooter. But on the flip side, because we do have to balance it, right? For AI defenders, there is also new help defense intelligence. And that is about making AI smarter about when they collapse in to help them protect the paint on those drives. And this really factors in, how close the ball is to the basket so that defenders can adjust properly to help or then recover back out to the shooter. So if you think about the two things we talked about, the help defense and then the drive and kick on offense, those are really complementary. So it's really going to encourage you to pass the ball around to make sure you find the open man, whether it's you or your AI getting you open as well.
Okay, perfect. Next up, we have My Player Freelance Engine. What is this about, Evan?
I'm not.
This is my first time seeing this.
Getting on
well, as the name suggests, this one is specific to My Players, obviously. So
the more I get interested, I felt that in my soul too, man.
Where you are on the court, right? When you're playing,
I can break down some stuff
though. Career, your teammates do understand where you are on the court, even if you don't have the ball. So for that drive and kick that we just talked about, if an AI drives in, defense kind of collapses on them in the paint, they're going to know that where you are on the court, they can find you more consistently if you're open. If you're standing in a corner wide open and your defender went in to help, they can find you in the corner for an open shot. And also with this freelance engine, there is a new set of quick plays that you have when you're off ball. And you can kind of use those quick plays to communicate with your AI teammates. So the example from the blog is that when you're off ball, you can tell your point guard that you're going to come set a screen for them. Give them a heads up, or you can actually call like a post up for yourself. Things like that are examples of these new quick plays that are possible with this freelance engine. But there is more in the blog that we're not going to go through in its entirety here. I think it might be better for you guys to go read it yourself.
You just said you had time.
Real quick summary, there is smarter double team logic. So it sends a double at the right time and knows who to double. There's better screen navigation so that AI defenders can make the best decision when they get screen and go over under screens with more logic than they have in the past. And then something I think many of our sim players will appreciate is the dev team has expanded playbooks. You now have the ability to put up to 80 plays in your playbooks now. For those of you who are basketball experts out there, know all the ins and outs of those plays.
Bro, they're spamming no
like
RNG.
Myself, hopefully, if you are one of those people, you are going to benefit.
$20 builds.
So definitely go give the full Courtside Report blog a read. There's a big AI and coaching section there that I think many of you will find to be very interesting.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, man, I think a lot of what we talked about goes back to like you know, we were saying in the first stream that we did was a lot of community feedback. I feel like a lot of things here, we have a lot of new skill gap controls now. You know what I'm saying? Controls that's gonna kind of expand that skill gap. So if you get really good at all of these new features, you know, you'll probably be a better player out there on the course. So I'm super excited about all of that stuff that's coming to.
Can you summarize that just John? Once it ends, bro, we're gonna summarize it live.
The full blog, the Courtside Report, that is live right now on the NBA 2K website. Or if you missed the trailer, if you missed the Courtside Report video, that is live on our NBA 2K YouTube channel as well. That includes everything we just talked about in case you missed anything. And also, if you do have any questions today, because I'm sure, as always, every year of gameplay, there's going to be a lot of questions.
They are spamming no RNG.
Or we are about to open our questions channel on Discord, discord.gg/NBA2K. And our dev team is going to be answering some of those questions. So that's discord.gg/NBA2K. Join there. There is a 2K26 questions channel. Drop your gameplay questions there. And keep in mind, we are answering gameplay questions today.
I don't like how
my player,
I don't like how Stacks got the little logo and Evan got the official logo. Y'all peep that?
Soon. We're not answering questions about those yet. Today's questions are just going to be about what we talked about with on-court gameplay. But I hope everybody learned something that they're excited to try out. For me, custom layups is a big upgrade. I've always wanted to mix and match my layup packages there of different players, so that's a big upgrade for me.
Okay.
I'm gonna try out that new
Follow
rhythm
up
shooting,
if y'all new, man.
catch and shoots. So I am very excited to play 2K.
Y'all just came for information.
Feature stacks.
I think for me, mine's probably the Euro.
Y'all just came for information. Y'all still gotta follow up because I'm the test dummy. We gotta see. We gotta see how being a test dummy works.
Kind of throw the defense off a
shit,
little bit and getting the easy bucket, wide open layup off that. So I think for me right now, that's my favorite thing. But I'm sure once I get my hands on the game and play it for a while, I'll find something else that I like to. That's my favorite.
For sure. Well, that is going to do it for us. We do have a couple of notes to close things out, though. Many of you now have probably finished your watch time for the 45 minutes locker code between last time and the last roadmap stream we did and today. So make sure you claim that in your Twitch inventory. Then go to the NBA 2K Twitch Drops website and log in with the same Twitch account that you used. It has to be the same account, right? If you log in with a different account, we're not going to know that you watched 45 minutes. But your locker code, once you log in, is going to be shown there. And remember, your code is unique. It can only be used once. So don't share it or post it anywhere public unless you want to give it to somebody else. Once you give it to somebody else and they use it, you're not going to be able to use it anymore yourself. But coming up next, we are going to talk about presentation. You may have noticed in today's gameplay trailer, I saw many of you in the chat were saying the lighting was better. There's lighting improvements.
Lies. Nobody said that. No person said that. They are spamming no RNG and $20 bills.
Also, the same week.
That is all that has been spammed in this entire chat and is documented.
Many of you are excited to hear. For now, we do have the little teaser and the themes we talked about in the roadmap. But you're gonna have to
so I guess they're finishing up. They made it to the 45-minute mark fairly quick. Got some information
coming up very
talked
soon.
about a lot of bit of nonsense.
As you can see in those little cassette tapes.
Evan is holding back on information.
There's a lot more coming up very soon. Very last thing, we do want to hear about your first impressions of what we shared today. So if you do have a few minutes, once me and Stacks go off screen, you're going to see a QR code that takes you to a survey, and we're also going to pin the link in the chat.
Just doing anything
and we would really appreciate if you use that to let us know what you thought about the gameplay features today.
Put a green window for dribbling. There is a green window for dribbling.
For us to look at. But Stacks, that is all I got.
To get steals.
All right, man. So we'll see you guys next week.
Right.
And that's another big week coming up for us, man, with more information about NBA 2K26.
Okay.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed what you saw here today. Until Until then, we're gonna wrap it up here.
I made 10 plus deals and I expect $20 bills. That's a lie that somebody came up with.
Fun August. Have a great weekend, you guys.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. All right. That shit was ass. All right. That shit was hot, smelly fucking garbage. Damn. Get it, Dre. Get it, Dre. They got a nice beat going anyway. Call me Dre. I'm on the scene today, doing my thing. Anyway, they call me Dre. Break it down, Dre. In a whoa. Break it down, Dre. Break it. All right, so I gotta get this shit up off my screen. Let y'all talk to me real quick. First of all, thoughts and opinions. W, L. More than likely, 99% of y'all are gonna say L because y'all don't know what the fuck you just looked at. Which I got you. I'm gonna explain it for you guys. We're gonna make it make sense. I'm trying to make my stream work. There's some shit fucking up with my stream. Literally, like, it didn't go live on a Purple app, but now it's live on a Purple app, but it's on my other computer. Same thing with one of my vertical streams. It fucked up, and it won't allow me to end stream without having to respark every single one of my streams or just respark one. It's really pissing me off right now, chat, but I can't let that negativity get in the way of our greatness, man. We on the grind right now. So, with all that being said, stop.